In this video, I'm going to review the NVO option trade alert that we sent out through our option picking service here at Stock Market Guides. This one was sent out back on February the 29th, which was last week, just about a week ago here. And you can see here it called for the NVO March 8th expiration, the 113 strike call option. And it was sent out right at the opening bell on February the 29th. And the price at that time of the option was $7.60. And you can see from the trade alert here that we sent out that the exit was called for landing on March the 7th at the opening bell. Now there's an optional profit target here we published for $9.61. So after you buy the option, if you want, you can just set a profit target, and if the option goes up in value, you can lock in the profit. That's completely up to you. And we give an optional profit target here. This is not part of the research we did when we determined how this trade setup performed historically for NVO call options. But it's still something you can use, just a target you can use if you want to lock in profits when they're right in front of you. But otherwise, you would just hold the trade until this date if you wanted to follow this particular trade setup. So let's take a look at how this has performed. So the entry was on February the 29th, which is this bar right here, right at the opening bell. So it's right where the mouse is right here. That's where the trade alert was sent. That's where the price was. And you can see that day that we sent the trade alert, the price actually was net red, meaning it went down. It did come back up some, but overall, by the end of the first day, that position would have been red. But you can see what happened over the next couple days is it gapped up 2 days in a row, which is pretty fun to live through if you're holding that position. And it just shows you just how high this particular position got. And so let's see. So it got up to a high of 128.77. That's the stock. But if you look at just the intrinsic value of the option itself, you just take the stock price of 128.77 and subtract the strike price of 113. That shows that the option had at least an intrinsic value of $15.77 when it got to that peak right there. And that's assuming, it may have been a little bit more than that if the option had any additional extrinsic value factored into its price. But at bare minimum, its intrinsic value was $15.77. So you can see that that was well beyond the profit target. So if you chose to use this optional profit target, that one would have cashed in. If you chose to use a different profit target, it may have cashed in depending on where you set it, but the price itself got to be more than double the entry price. But as you can see, then it took a turn, and the trade itself called for holding the position until March the 7th. And as you can see on this chart, this is during live trading right now, and this is March the 5th. So this trade, if you were following the exactly the way that it was designed and the way that we researched it when we published these backtest results, you would still be holding it another couple of days and close it at the opening bell on March the 7th, which is 2 days from now. And so this would have been challenging to live through for some people, right? Because the price got so high, it peaked so nicely, so quickly, and then a lot of those gains were given back. The market today is not doing well. It's having a pullback sort of a day where lots of tickers are down today. And this is a good example of a lot of the things you might experience when you follow our trade alerts. There's sometimes you'll catch a tiger by the tail and you'll see something like this where it just shoots up like a rocket. But there also are times where you can give up gains, or where you get a red start right out of the gate. And we still don't know where this thing is going to land because the trade is not over yet, at least according to this. So, if you're following this trade, you could stick to the game plan and just hold it until that trade exit date on March 7th at the opening bell. You could lock in profits now, even though it may be hard after having seen a peak up here. You can do really whatever you'd like. Ultimately, we don't know what will happen next in the market, and that's part of the reason that we set out these game plans. We just lay out a very clear trading structure based on backtest results. So it's a very clear trade idea with the entire trade structure mapped out. And it's up to you whether you follow through with it or how you manage your trade. But if you did follow this one, you can see this one went through kind of a full spectrum of potential emotions that might come up when taking a trade. So that was our NVO trade. If you have any questions about our trade alerts or about our service in general, you can contact us anytime. The email address is support@stockmarketguides.com.